All right, we're gonna begin. First episode. Here we go. All right, welcome to the first episode of Positive Vibes Only, coming at you live from the Dream Factory, aka my room. Gotta start somewhere. Before we get started in today's episode, our first episode, mind you, I would like to give a couple of shout outs or acknowledgements real quick. The first would be to Sam Lucero. If you're listening, I just want to say thank you for helping inspiring this podcast. I'm glad this first episode is finally coming out. It's been a long time in the making. So just thank you for always believing in me, even in times where I didn't believe in myself. Thank you. Another shout out to my mom and dad for always helping me, providing me the tools that I need to, pursue this passion, and for just helping raise me, right? Thank you guys. Another shout out, real quick, to my Amu and my Grandpa Bob. If y'all don't know, my Amu is my grandma. She don't let me call him Grandma, so we're going to call her Amu, and my Grandpa Bob. My Amu has just been, one of the biggest supporters I've ever had in my life, and just a great role model. She's one of the most kind person I have ever met in my life. She's, taught me the importance of kindness, and she's shown me through her actions throughout her whole life. So big shout out to Amu. And really shout out to the whole fam. If we're going to shout out a lot of people here, we're going to be here for like 3 hours. I got a big family. Shout out to Jack, my dog. Love you, dude. Love you so much. I'm going to force you to listen to this later. And I think our last shout out is going to go to John and Jeanette Lucero for, again, being another big inspiring part of this podcast, and for just being, great role models to their kids and to me, and for just being really, really good people. So thank you guys for your influence in my life, and to everyone else that I shouted out, right? So to begin today's podcast episode, we're going to be talking about pursuing your purpose and enjoying your life. So to dive right into it, we're going to talk about the difference between living life and enjoying life. Now, again, before we get into this, I just want to let you know this is my first podcast, so if it doesn't really go as planned, I apologize. It's going to take about 10,000 hours, as I say, to perfect this craft. So again, our topic of the day is pursuing our purpose and enjoying our life. Now, the first thing that I want to get down is identifying the difference between living life and enjoying life. Are our actions contributing to our happiness or to our demise? Right? These are the type of questions that we kind of have to ask ourselves. Again, we're talking about our purpose, so we have to understand the difference between living and enjoying. If we're just waking up every day, going to work, 8 hours a day, coming home, getting something to eat, spending time with the kids, going to sleep, waking up, doing the same thing over and over again, are we really enjoying that process? Or are we just living life? Are we just going through the motions, right? I think a lot of us kind of have or experience a mundane experience because we're really not pursuing what makes us happy. We're not really pursuing our purpose, our dreams, our desires, and there's something in everyone that doesn't really get out. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone has a dream, but not a lot of people pursue that dream. And I think that is part of enjoying life. But again, that's just one part of it. It doesn't necessarily have to deal with a career or a job, although again, that is a big part of it. But just the simple things like our eating habits, our reading habits, our relationships, our physical activity. Are we getting out enough? Are we doing the things that we enjoy? Like, I love playing basketball. If I don't play basketball for a week, I'm going to go crazy. But it's little things like that we have to differentiate between living and enjoying. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to do just with your career, but it just has to do with the little things in life, which ultimately lead up to our happiness. So again, just identify the things that, we feel the difference when we're really enjoying life, not just going through the motions, and the difference between living life, where you just kind of have that mundane experience. You're kind of always tired, don't really feel like doing much other than, going to work, eating, seeing how the kids, watching a little bit of Netflix, and going to sleep, right? So we have to understand that difference. And again, this is going to be a little bit of a short video because my camera here is recording. It's going to be video and audio for you guys that don't know. You can find this on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's probably going to go everywhere. And then audio, obviously, podcast. It's going to go Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, etc. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is believing in yourself. And this kind of ties into changing our belief systems. So if we're truly going to pursue our passion or our dream, we have to have some sort of foundation of belief in ourselves. And it's always great to have people that believe in you, but ultimately you have to believe in yourself to make this thing work. And I think now more than ever in this day and age, we have so much opportunity to take advantage of to pursue our dreams, right? It's not like, back in the 1940s where you really had to go to college to get, a degree and to get a high-paying job. And again, I'm not knocking the 9-to-5 life whatsoever. This podcast is predicated on your happiness and your prosperity level in life. And so if you're happy doing what you're doing, work-wise or career-wise, absolutely go ahead and continue to do that, because that is all I promote, is happiness and prosperity. So again, continue to do that. But if we're going to take a leap of faith and actually pursue our dreams, our ideals, and our purpose, there has to be some sort of belief backed in there, right? And that starts by changing our belief systems. We kind of live in a day and age where we don't necessarily have to take the traditional path, right? Society will tell you that you have to go to high school, got to go to college, got to find a wife, got to buy a house, got to have kids, you retire when you're 50 or 60, and then live life from there, right? Again, if that's the life you want to live and that's what makes you happy, continue to do what makes you happy. But I think for a lot of us, including myself, there's this drive, this motivation to live a purpose in life, to serve people. And that is what I'm doing via this podcast. And it makes me incredibly happy. And so in order for me to start this podcast, I had to believe in myself. You see a lot of successful entrepreneurs, speakers, even, like accountants or bankers or real estate agents, whatever it may be. It doesn't necessarily have to be in sales or entrepreneur-wise, but they believe in themselves, and that's what makes them so successful. Not only do they have something to say and something valuable to give, but they understand that in order for them to give that value, they have to believe in themselves first. And that begins by changing the belief systems. Like, I'm going to promote this podcast via YouTube, via Twitter, via Instagram, and those are all outlets nowadays that are around. That wasn't around 20 years ago, let alone 10 years ago. And so these are new outlets that we have that give us so much opportunity to actually pursue our purpose. And again, you have to believe in yourself before you do that, but realize that what was true 50 years ago isn't necessarily true nowadays. So we have to change our belief systems. We don't have to necessarily conform to society's ideals of what it means to live a happy life, right? Like I said, going to go to college, getting a family, buying a house, retiring at 60. It doesn't have to be that way. And again, if you want to live that way, go ahead. Please be happy and do you. And I think another thing that we have to touch on is setting yourself up for financial stability. Again, if you are in a position where you are working a 9-to-5, not knocking it whatsoever, please just be happy. You're kind of going to ask yourself, well, TC, I'm in a place where I can't really leave my job to pursue my passion or my goals. I have to put a roof over my head, including my family's head. I have kids to feed and to shelter. I'm kind of going to pull something from Gary Vee's book here real quick. If you do work a 9-to-5, 8 hours out of the day, right? We have 24 hours to start with. Take 2 hours, you get up at 5, take 2 hours to rest, relax, eat, play with your kids, talk to your wife, and, say at 7 p.m., you can work from 7 to 2 a.m., even if you can't do that, 7 to 10 p.m., 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., work on your goals, work on your passions, and every single day that time will add up. So the fact that you say you don't have time or, your job doesn't allow you to, pursue your goals, your passions, your purpose, it's just an excuse. It really is. You have time in the day. Everyone has the same 24 hours, and successful and wealthy people use their time differently. So you have to manage your time and, again, be able to set yourself up for financial stability. You kind of went on a tangent there. But, if you are working a 9-to-5, or if you're struggling, you do want to, again, continue to feed your family and be able to live and shelter yourself. That's a big part of it. But use the time, out of work to pursue your goals and to pursue your passions. And for those of you that are around my age, this podcast is really geared towards 18 to 25-year-olds. We don't really have a lot of financial, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not really financially burdened at this age, right? A lot of us are still living at home, or even if we're not, we don't really have many bills to pay. So we need to be able to save money to set up ourselves up for our future. I think there needs to be a big change in education, especially in high school, because they don't teach us how to be financially literate, financially independent. So there's a lot of great books that you can read that have helped me along the way, and a lot of great people that can mentor you out there, right, to become financially independent. A great book is Think and Grow Rich. Another one is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And any Tony Robbins book. I forget the name of it. I was going to look for it at the beginning of this podcast. I couldn't find it. But any Tony Robbins book. There's one out there that talks about bull and bear markets, investing in the stock market and real estate market. These are great assets that the wealthy use to set themselves up for financial stability. And, they read all these types of books and surround themselves with motivated people, smart, intelligent people that help them become financially literate. So we have to educate ourselves financially to create that financial stability in the beginning, to set that foundation up for ourselves. That way we can pursue our goals and passions. I know I'm going a little short, but we're kind of running out of time here. I'm sorry, guys. The next episodes will be a little bit more in depth. The last point I want to make here is surrounding yourself with like-minded people. For any area of your life, you want to surround yourself with people who have the same ambitions or same goals, or at least like-minded in that aspect of life, right? To surround yourself with people who go to church. They're obviously faith-based. If you want faith-based people, if that's what you're into, that's the type of people that you want to surround yourself with. They're going to plant those seeds of faith in your mind and help you water them every single day. That way you can grow in that foundation and have that stability to fall back on when times get rough. Or if you're trying to, again, become financially literate, surround yourself with people who are interested and invested into the stock market or into real estate. Or if you want to kind of get more fit and you want to have a more fit lifestyle and choose different lifestyle choices, you want to surround yourself with people who make the conscious effort to eat healthy or make the conscious effort to work out 4 to 5 times a week. And just surrounding yourself with those people is going to make such an impact in your life. Yeah, it's just really amazing that the things that other people can help you do. But again, you have to believe in yourself and be open to these ideas, these people, for them to come into your life and to make an impact. So that is my thoughts, my thought process, my tips, my words on pursuing your purpose and enjoying your life. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, this is Positive Vibes Only, coming at you with TC Stefani. Our next episode will be up next week on Wednesday. I'm thinking about doing this maybe 2 times a week, but we'll see. So far, it's our first episode. Again, thank you guys so much for listening. My whole purpose here is to just help serve you, to help make your life better, and to help increase your levels of happiness and prosperity in life. So thank you guys for listening, and I'll catch you next week. Booyah! Alright guys, thank you guys for watching. That's my notes here, not cheating. I wrote these. Thank you guys for watching, for listening. This camera's about to die, but that was a great experience. I love sharing my ideas, my thoughts with you guys. I hope I could inspire you in some type of way. That's my whole purpose here. And again, thank you guys for watching. Signing out. Peace.